and welcome to the inaugural Jockey Legends Day at Saratoga Race Course. Today, we salute the greats, elite riders who have distinguished themselves at racetracks throughout North America and particularly here at the Spa. It is an astounding group of athletes who have overcome adversity and injury to emerge over the decades as the best of the best. Together, they have won over 78,000 races and nearly $2 billion in purse earnings. These are Thoroughbred Racing's all-stars. Join us as we welcome these 16 Jockey Legends. Ladies and gentlemen, first up, please welcome Jorge Velasquez. This Hall of Famer has won over 6,700 races, $125 million in purse earnings from 1963 to 1997. He captured the Kentucky Derby and Preakness with Pleasant Colony in 1981 and was the regular rider of 1978 Triple Crown runner-up Alydar, winner of the Whitney and the Travers. His New York Stakes wins include the Wood Memorial, the Carter, the Man o' War, Champagne, and Jockey Club Gold Cup. The Travers and the Whitney here at Saratoga. Ladies and gentlemen, Jorge Velasquez. Next, say hello to Hall of Famer Eddie Maple, a winner of 4,400 races and purses worth over $105 million. Eddie was a superstar at New York tracks, winning back-to-back Travers, the Alabama, Champagne, Woodward, Jockey Club Gold Cup, Sword Dancer, and the Belmont Stakes, Suburban, and Met Mile. Conquistador, Cielo, Creme Fraiche, Temperance Hill were just a few of the stakes winners he rode to victory. Here is Eddie Maple. And now here is Jose Santos, a winner of over 4,000 races and $187 million in purses. Jose was inducted into the Hall of Fame in 2007 after a magnificent career that included wins aboard Funny Side and the Kentucky Derby and Preakness. His other stars include Crypto Clearance, Fly So Free, Lemon Drop Kid, and Meadow Star. Ladies and gentlemen, Jose Santos. Next up is Jean Cruguet. Jean is one of two riders here today who are Triple Crown winners, having scored in the Derby, Preakness, and Belmont in 1977 with the great Seattle Slew. Jean won 2,400 races, $52 million in purses, Hoist the Flag, and Arts and Letters also received the Cruguet touch. Mesdames et Messieurs, ici est Jean Cruguet. Please welcome the irrepressible Randy Romero. Randy finished his riding career with 4,294 victories, $75 million in purses. In New York, the Hall of Fame jockey won the Champagne, Coaching Club American Oaks, Frazette, Jockey Club Gold Cup, the Carter, the Hopeful, the Woodward, and the Alabama. And who can forget his textbook rides on Go for Juan, Polish Navy, and most memorably, Personal Ensign, the one and only Randy Romero. Nick Santagata, a member of the New York Racing Association family, the New York native, won 4,144 races and upwards of $74 million up and down the East Coast. His New York victories include the Vosburg, the Bayshore. He now works some of New York's best horses on these beautiful Saratoga mornings. The fan favorite, Nick Santagata. And here's another fan favorite, Robbie Davis. Robbie's career spans 3,382 wins, including victories in the Acorn, the Hopeful, the Brooklyn, the Ruffian, the Cigar Mile, the Sanford, and the Vosburg. He is still represented at New York tracks as a trainer and by his son, Dylan, and his daughters, Jackie and Katie, up-and-coming riders. Ladies and gentlemen, here's Robbie Davis. And next is a legend indeed, Jacinto Vasquez. Winner of 5,200 races and $85 million in purses, Jacinto won the Kentucky Derby with Foolish Pleasure and Genuine Risk. Jacinto is a two-time winner of the Travers, beat the mighty Secretariat aboard Onion in the Whitney, and has won almost every major stakes at the 3 New York tracks. Let's hear it for Hall of Famer Jacinto Vasquez. And now Jean-Luc Samin, a winner of 2,600 races and $94 million. During a 20-year span, the French-born rider won the Brooklyn, the Diana, the Coaching Club American Oaks, Sword Dancer, the Flower Bowl, one of the all-time finest. Nothing like Samin on the green. Jean-Luc Samin. Welcome a familiar face, Richard Migliore. The Mig is a New York mainstay who won over 4,400 races, including 178 graded stakes wins and more than $150 million in purses. The Mig has been aboard 4-Star Dave, Artie Schiller, Hidden Lake, Kip DeVille, and has won a number of stakes at all 3 New York tracks. A TV analyst and Fox Sports 1 racing contributor, here is the Mig, Richard Migliore. Say hello to one of the all-time greats, ladies and gentlemen, Chris McCarron. Hall of Fame rider returned with 7,100 victories, $264 million in purses. He guided to victory some of the top horses of the modern era, including Tiz Now, John Henry, Ali Sheba, Precisionist, Lady Secret, Sunday Silence, Passiana, Touch Gold, Gulfingen, Alphabet Sip. His wins include the Kentucky Derby, Preakness, and Belmont Stakes twice each, and numerous Breeders' Cup divisions. Ladies and gentlemen, Chris McCarron. And here is the youngest of our legends and one of the best ever, Ramon Dominguez. In a career cut short, Ramon won 4,900 races and $191 million in purses. The leading rider in New York from 2009 to 2012 set a record for victory at Saratoga in 2012 with 68 wins. His victories include scores in the Wood Memorial, Man o' War, Gotham, the Beldame, the Remsen, Suburban, the Ogden Phipps, the Woodward, Jim Dandy, and the Travers. Ladies and gentlemen, a gentleman, Ramon Dominguez. And on the red carpet, the great Manny Icaza. He might be our oldest legend today, but he's still incredibly young at heart. Manny won his first Travers aboard Sword Dancer in 1959, and again in 1964 with Quadrangle. 5 times the leading rider at the Spa. He was inducted into the Hall of Fame in 1977. A great pleasure to welcome back to the Spa, Manny Icaza. And fans say hello to the great Ron Turcotte. Our second Triple Crown winning jockey and a member of the Hall of Fame. He rode Northern Dancer, glowing tribute, and a slew of others. But ladies and gentlemen, most of all, for now and forever, Ron won the Triple Crown with Secretariat. Their 1973 Belmont Stakes remains Thoroughbred Racing's seminal moment. Here is Ron Turcotte. And flying out here today from Los Angeles to be with us, here is the toasts of 2 coasts, Lafitte Pincay Jr. His win total is an incredible 9,530. His purse earnings stand at $237 million. His New York wins include 2 Travers, 3 straight Belmont Stakes for Woody Stevens, the Whitney and the Jockey Club Gold Cup. His mounts include Swale, Creme Fraiche, and Affirmed. A 5-time Eclipse Award winner, a multiple Breeders' Cup winner, and a Hall of Famer. Ladies and gentlemen, it is Lafitte Pincay Jr. And last, but not least, here is Mr. New York Racing, Angel Cordero Jr., the king of Saratoga. You name it, Angels won it, including the Kentucky Derby, Belmont, the Preakness, the Jockey Club Gold Cup, the Suburban, the Travers. His winning mounts include Bold Forbes, So Brilliantly, Dr. Patches, Seattle Slews, Spendabuck, Cannonade, Manila, and Chief's Crown. A Hall of Famer and Eclipse Award winner, Angel is also the agent for another Hall of Fame jockey, Johnny Velasquez. Ladies and gentlemen, Angel Cordero Jr.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. First thing I'd like to thank the NYRA Racing Association and Aaron Gellerman and Migliori to make this day possible. Also, I'd like to thank you, the fan. Without you, it will be no racing. If they ever have a Hall of Fame for fun, you will be my first vote. God bless you, all of you. Thank you for supporting our sport. We all love you. And another thing I'd like to say that when I was a kid, I always wanted to be like Lafitte. I always wanted to be as good as he was, and I finally got to meet him, my grandpa, Lafitte. Now it is my pleasure to introduce to you the president of the NYRA Racing Association, Mr. Chris Bay. My pleasure.
Thank you. Well, this is a very special day, ladies and gentlemen, and a very historic moment when we have some of the greatest riders in the history of our great sport and the greatest riders in the history of this great place here in Saratoga. Today we celebrate their great success, who collectively won over 78,000 races, 35 Triple Crown races, including 2 Triple Crown winners, and 28 Saratoga Race Course titles. Their courage, charisma, and competitive spirit have touched our hearts and provided us with many, many wonderful memories. Today we thank them and recognize them for their contribution to our great sport. But we're also here today for another equally important reason. Earlier today, these great men signed autographs and took photos with fans to raise funds for the Permanently Disabled Jockeys Fund. These riders take care of their own, and we, the New York Racing Association, and all local fans of the sport are part of that family. The fund has already dispersed more than $5 million to more than 60 former jockeys, many of whom were injured while in their 20s or 30s, and thus facing decades of living with a disability. We urge all of you today to lend a hand to help support these jockeys and their families. The customer service booths in the grandstand and clubhouse are accepting donations to the fund in honor of these 16 great riders assembled before you. We thank you for coming today. We thank you, gentlemen, for coming today. And please join me. Let's hear it one more time for the greatest assemblage of riders ever at one track. Thank you for coming.